of the silence, the sugar-coated lies. Another headline screaming behind vacant eyes. They build up their walls so high and so strong, but the truth's gonna break through before too long. Every single day, the same damn old game, pointing all the fingers, nobody takes the blame. This pressure's building, it's starting to crack. Ain't no turning back now, ain't no holding back. I'm about to say it, yeah, I'm about to scream. Tired of the fake smiles, living in a dream. The real life's bleeding out in the cold. Gotta break the mold, gotta let it unfold. I'm about to say it, every single word. The uncomfortable truth finally gonna be heard. I'm gonna say it.
We're back for another episode of hashtag I'm Gonna Say It.
Welcome to hashtag I'm Gonna Say It. All things said in today's show are alleged and for entertainment and educational purposes only. If you are below the age of 18, we request that you leave the live now. Enjoy.
Good morning, Bessie. How you doing, Marie? Good morning to you. We are back again, people, for another episode and another wild day of Puffy Jacket trial. I'm pretty sure. Now, they told us that yesterday, this week was going to be explosive, and it was. It was. If you know, if you kept up with it, and you listened to Jane Doe's testimony, it was wild. It was wild. Well, it hasn't started today, so we have some time. But while we're waiting, I came across another video from, and shout out to Jamel, aka Jamal. But he shared a video from Truth Is, and it's a former Bad Boy artist, and I believe he's from what's the band, the group? I think they call Day 26 or something like that. I think it's the guy from there, because there's one guy who done an interview and broke down, well, the group done an interview, and one member broke down uh, when he was talking about some of the things that Puffy Jacket did to him, or allegedly, we say, right? His story, not ours. But this is another one, and I think this is the same guy. But he goes on to say basically how Puffy Jacket tried to sacrifice him. And given that a lot of times we've talked about on previous shows, we've talked about the sacrifice part of the industry, and you know, the sinister part of that. And I wanted to see. I haven't listened to it, so we'll both hear it together at the same time. But I wanted to see if that is what he's going or getting at when he brings up that Puffy Jacket tried to sacrifice him. So, good morning to you all. It's a terrific Tuesday. Um, Definitely. Rochelle, good morning, bestie. Thank you for that daily heart me. I appreciate it. And that is the goal today, by the way. Right here, you see my daily heart me's. Uh, if you could help me reach that goal, I would appreciate you so much. I appreciate you anyway. But if you help achieve that, I appreciate that. Mitzi Kim says, yeah, I watched that. They stopped the interview and started it back. It's terrible. Right. That video, they did. He broke down. Now, a lot of people are going to say he's lying. It's not true. Where's the proof? And all of that. And they have a right to say that. You know, everybody has a right to their own opinion. But my only thing about it is I look at the emotion, like when people like that, the emotion tells the story, like if they're telling the truth or not. I think. I don't think that was something that was, prime example. because you saw the interview that I'm talking about. Hey, thank you for the rose. I appreciate that, Rochelle. Thank you. You saw the interview, so you know what I'm saying. When he broke down and was crying, they had to stop it. You could feel that. Now, let's go to that fake apology we was talking about that Puffy Jacket gave after the video was released of him assaulting Cassie. We already knew that wasn't of substance. It wasn't, you could tell it wasn't genuine, right? So that's what I mean by that. So without further ado, we're going to play the audio and see what he's referring to when he says that Puffy Jacket, while he's revealing that Puffy Jacket tried to sacrifice him.
All I'm going to say is brace yourself for this one. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel again. Thank y'all so much for coming over. Title of this video, Bad Boy Artist Cries While Revealing Diddy Tried to Sacrifice Him. We are back on the Truth Is channel. I believe he's going to be talking about Q from day 26. I know I've reacted to something about this, but I think this is in more detail or more information has come out. Brace yourself. We ain't gonna waste no more time. Let's jump right into it.
Right now, Diddy is being exposed left and right. His victims who were once afraid of him no longer fear him, as he's now a caged animal waiting for his demise. In my last video, I covered how a former bad boy artist named Chopper exposed Diddy for being a part of the Illuminati. Today, we will be listening to another former bad boy artist who broke down crying while revealing he was almost sacrificed by Diddy, proving this industry is darker and more disturbing than most people expected. Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back to The Truth Is, where I drop new videos exposing the truth weekly. In today's episode, we will be talking about a former bad boy artist revealing he was almost sacrificed by Diddy. But before we begin, I just wanted to let my Patreon members know I will be dropping a new exclusive video about a man who discovered a ghost town where he found a satanic sacrifice site. I'm finishing up on this video, and it should be up soon. If you're one of my members, make sure to be on the lookout for that video. If you're not a member, you should consider joining. For $3 a month, not only will you be offering support to the Truth Movement, but you will also get access to over 45 exclusive Patreon videos that are not allowed here on YouTube. If you would like to join, you can find the link in the description and in the comment section. I want to thank you all. Now, let's get right into it. Over the last year, the media has painted Diddy as a criminal monster who takes advantage of everyone and anyone. They have called them out for being violent, for being an R-worder, being on the down low, and even for being a PDF file. They expose them for everything, but the most important thing, which is that he's an occultant. That is what the media won't tell you. In fact, that is what the media is protecting. It's why we're not hearing about the rituals that take place in Hollywood, the rituals that all these celebrities participated in. You think the government doesn't know about these events? They do, as when they confiscated all that freak-off footage at Diddy House, they saw many big celebrities, but they aren't trying to expose Hollywood, they're only trying to go at Diddy. The media would never tell you the truth. It's funny because they know exactly what's going on. They're all a part of it. That's why I made it my job to make sure and point out all of these things that the media purposely is missing.
You know how important that is, what he just said? Think about, because, you know, I see in a lot of comments, and I believe it too, Diddy's not alone in this. You know, it's a lot of people that should be going down with him. But I think, for the most part, they are probably going to make an example out of him. I think. But I'm just saying, for the people who confiscated these tapes and had to review all this footage, like, what the hell do you think they seen?
Right. Now, we actually done shows prior to that. Hold on, Elric, I think 2333. We need to help our Hispanic brothers and sisters. They need us, although they did go for him.
Life is always in motion, and AAA Life Insurance Company.
Hold on, that's a commercial. Hold on. We're gonna also respond to that. Yeah, you're right. I see what's going on. If you're referring to, first of all, welcome in, Eric. Elric, and if you're referring to the L.A. situation, absolutely. I agree with you on that. We spoke about that yesterday as well. But yes, it doesn't matter if they how can I? Because you got to use certain words. It doesn't matter if they chose Cheetolini in that competition back in November or not. They don't deserve to go through any of that. If they are hardworking, law-abiding citizens, they don't deserve it. You're right. I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that fully. Um, but by the same token, I have to say this. Even if they are the ones that are criminals, no, give me a minute. I'm trying to figure out how to say this without TikTok getting in its feelings. You feel me? Um, Criminals don't come in just brown and black skin. So if they're going to deport real criminals that are brown skinned, then they need to deport criminals that are white skin as well. If I'm making sense. Right, dimple cheeks. Exactly. So that's where I'm at with it. With that, I really, once I get my other account up and going, then I'll do the political stuff on that one. You get me? So, I'm sorry, I lost train of thought. Oh yeah. So the original platform we had that we broadcast this show from, hashtag I'm gonna say it. We talked about. I gave you all the location of a compound that they would all meet and have these rituals done. I told you what they wore. I told you um, what what the statue was that was out, that's on the compound, that serves as one of their, not necessarily their mascot, but it is kind of, I guess, for lack of better words, one of their mascot. Lynn Lovely says Cheetolini and his agenda are racism personified. That is correct. That is correct. I agree with you fully, and it's shame. It's disgusting, actually. It's disgusting. Dimple Cheek says, no matter the color, depraved is depraved. You can't. Hold on. You can look your color. You can look mine. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like crime, like yeah, criminals come in all race, all color, all creed, right? So the fact that they're just targeting one is not, it's not working for me. It's not working for me.
Learn the truth about the industry. They will not tell you the music industry is controlled by Freemasons
Look at the
because the
hands.
media and Hollywood are also controlled by Freemasons. In the last video, I spoke about an interview one of Diddy's former artists
You
named
all can't
Chopper.
see it, but he just showed one of the symbols. It was a picture with Puffy Jacket with some people, and he had the hand gesture, the symbol. I talked about the symbols. If you know, you know. On the average, we see roughly throughout our day, throughout your travels, throughout your day and stuff like that, we see about anywhere 50 to 100 symbols a day of the machine. Be it when you out driving to and from work or out and about doing your daily activity, be it while you're watching TV, it's there. And if you don't know it, then you won't recognize it. But if you do, you see it on shows that we watch, all of that. Marco the Handy Guy, welcome to the live, says rock stars get away, but Puffy Jacket has to go away. The system is off. I'm the first to say, brother, I believe all of them need to go. Anybody that's in, and you're right to what you're saying. Let me start there because I don't want it to sound argumentative. I'm not arguing or disagreeing with what you're saying. I'm agreeing with you that all of them need to go. Now, it is what I'm thinking, and this doesn't mean that that it's actually true, but here's what I'm thinking: that he is just the start of more to come. I don't think he is the main one that they want to get. I believe that he's the bait that's going to catch the bigger fish, if that analogy makes sense. That's what I believe. So if that is indeed the case, then I'm okay with this. But if they don't, and it's just him, then yeah, there's an issue. Because like we said, we have one that's in that president's house in Washington, D.C. that done pretty much some of the same things. So yeah, everybody needs to be held accountable.
Did with real life street stars. In that video, Chopper confirmed the Freemasons' involvement in the music industry and Diddy's membership.
Diddy was wealthy, right?
He is wealthy.
He is wealthy.
Yeah.
And they talk about stuff like the Illuminati.
We love
Is
TikTok
this a real
shop.
thing?
Yes.
And were you ever introduced to it? Did you?
I would never tell you that.
It's important for people to hear it out of the mouth of someone who's actually involved in the music industry and was around Diddy. Chopper wasn't the only person to reveal this. This was also revealed by one of the words Diddy had hired for the freak-offs, Jonathan Odie. Odie, who was brought up in the trial during the Cassie segment, confirmed that Diddy is indeed a Freemason. He said that he witnessed
Right, double
evidence
cheeks
and
to
heard
make an example.
conversations
Exactly.
that proved Diddy was in fact a Freemason. He claimed he was a member of the Boli secret society.
Yeah, he's part of what's called the Boule. The Boule is a branch of the Illuminati.
Okay.
Now make sure you stick around to the end, as I will expose the truth about the Boli secret society. Diddy has been exposed by two separate people for being associated with the secret societies that run the world. We know these occultists are into some shady things and participate in dark demonic rituals. This is what Diddy was doing with Cassie and many others in the music industry. In my opinion, Diddy sacrificed Tupac, he sacrificed Kim Porter, and he even tried to sacrifice I'll Be Sure. Now, a few days back, another one of his
Now let's just pause right there. Let's not just skip right by that. Let's pause. Let's pause. All right. First and foremost, those of you that are new here to my show, this is hashtag I'm gonna say it. Hashtag I'm gonna say it. And we give you the real. We give you the real. And we try to. Sometimes we do offer our opinions. Sometimes we do have a little conspiracies here and there that we drop, but we're going to give you facts as well, in addition to. And so the reason I paused that is because it's the thing we talk about it. Energy, soul harvesting is what they do. Right? Now, when it comes to what he's talking about, when you basically give what is called a blood sacrifice, and that's when someone's life is ended, and the person that had a hand in that or helped facilitate that, it basically elevates them into a different level of the elite society. I don't want to say much. Because I don't want to get no strikes or anything like that. But just, I'm trying to convey it to you in a manner that is TT friendly and you can still pick up where I'm going. You get me? So that's why that's important. Now, we've all said that, well, not all of us, some of us still defend it, but sane ones have found it kind of odd that Puffy Jacket purchased a casket for Kim Porter 3 weeks before her passing, which would make us believe that he knew he was going to have a hand in that, allegedly, right? Now, I said, I think the first initial sacrifices was at the City College incident where the 9 people were unalived. That's what I think. That's just my opinion.
artist has come out and exposed Diddy for attempting to sacrifice him. The artist Q from Diddy's R&B group from the 2000s called Day 26 has recently been speaking out online about what he went through as an artist for Diddy. He has been doing many interviews, and in one of those interviews, he ended up breaking down crying, revealing a horrific experience he went through with Diddy. According to Q, he was dating Dawn from Diddy's female group Danity Kane. Dawn was also recently brought up in the Diddy trial and is now suing Diddy. According to Q, Diddy invited him and his girlfriend Dawn back to a house party at his Hamptons home. When he arrived, he claimed that Dawn gave him a pill, which made him black out not long after.
We love
He
TikTok
then
Shop.
woke up screaming in Diddy's daughter room.
Good morning, Ginger.
With
Welcome to
cameras
the
set up
live.
all around him, with Diddy laughing at him demonically.
Welcome
Q
in, Caddy.
believed he woke up
Benny
right as they
Blanco.
were going to
Cole.
sacrifice him. During this interview, he ends up bringing up another interview he did with Vlad TV, where he spoke about an email he received from Diddy.
What began as a gutsy, inspirational idea is growing into a disruptor.
Let's get past the commercial.
Time, I was around Dirty Money for about a year while they were creating Last Train to Paris. And I guess I was around because I was dating Dawn. So Diddy's like, I think he was
Stephanie
very, very
Unique,
high.
thank you for the
He's like,
follow.
we're going to go to the Hamptons. He was like, we're going to go stay the night there, and you guys want to come. And it felt very weird because he's never, the energy just felt so weird. You
They
know what I
are.
mean? It was
They
friendly
are
high.
double cheese.
You know what I'm saying? Like a friendly invitation to something.
And come at the worst time.
Like that?
No, he's never invited all of
Right.
us to
Not
one of his
so
houses.
random, right?
We get to the, before we get to the Hamptons, they're like speeding in these black SUVs on the expressway, very, very fast. Like they were in a rush to get to.
Pause real quick. He's talking about the black SUVs. Now, let's go back to who I remember the incident that involved Sean, Puffy Jacket, and Jay Ello. Good morning, Melissa. How you doing, love? The lady, the young lady that was in her face, stated that it was Puffy Jacket that did that to her, right? Not Sean. And we're glad you're here as well, Melissa. Thank you so much. Adrienne, how you doing? Good morning. Remember, she was saying when she got home from the hospital and things after that, times after that, a little after that, that she would notice that it was black blacked out SUVs parked outside of her house, basically trying to intimidate her and make sure she didn't go and tell that Puffy Jacket did this to her, allegedly. Again, I'm saying allegedly. I'm not discrediting her story. I'm just saying allegedly for the sake of the platform. But she was saying that these kind of vehicles were parked outside of her house to the point where she had to move. And they would track her, like when she would go places, they would track her and stuff like that. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because I want you all to notice the pattern of what different people are saying is happening to them, and it all falls back on one person. Like, at various times, it's the same thing. Dimple Cheek says, Aubrey O'Day says she has footage of red random cars every day by her house. Now, the red, we said, hey, good morning, Pink Tech. How's work going? The red, we've also done shows before where we talk about the red. She said, not red, that's a typo. Oh, okay. I was about to say, now we've talked about what red means and symbolizes. But yeah, so once again you have, and if I'm not mistaken, just recently, a couple of weeks ago, when Capricorn Clark was on the stand, she talked about them when they kidnapped her allegedly. We love TikTok Shop. And they was in that vehicle. Remember, she said it was Uncle Paulie and Puffy Jacket, and they kidnapped her and took her to over to Kid Cudi's house. It was in that kind of vehicle, a black SUV. Dimple Cheek says, she would see all different times of the day cars. Yeah, and that's the thing. So he's seeing his, and that's another thing too, people. Even though he's locked up, right now, he still has reach on the outside. He still have people that work for him on the outside. Correct, Dimple Cheeks. Intimidation is not hard to prove in his case at all. I mean, even what we heard yesterday. You get me? Jane Doe said she had left after she found out, what happened with him and Cassie in the video everybody in the world has seen. But she went to take a shower just to get away from the argument that they were having. And he came in after hitting her. He came in while she was in the shower and still slapped her. You get me? So he's all about the intimidation factor. Adrian says, I wonder, will they subpoena his security team? They should. They really should. And I thought the same thing, Adrian. Part of me feel like they won't. They won't. But they need to. Hey, Natty, good morning. Good morning, friend. They need to. Definitely need Roger Bonds in there. I definitely want them to. Hey, thank you for that daily heart me. I appreciate that, Natty. I appreciate it. Remember, that's the goal. That's the goal right here. Gene Deal. I'd like Gene Deal to come up there too. A lot of people discredit him. Don't know if he's telling the truth or believe he's telling the truth, but I think he adds a lot of context that we don't know. And for the simple fact, he's known Puffy Jacket long before Puffy Jacket became Puffy Jacket. And he was there for some things, right? I mean, he gave us the intel on what happened with Kim Porter, right? Hey, thank you for that Go Populars. I appreciate that, Natty. Thank you for the gifts. Dimple Cheek says the problem with that subpoena security opens more questions. I could see that as well. The only way I think it's really going to be sufficient for them to bring in any of his security detail or security workers is if they offer them 100% and complete immunity. That gives them the chance to openly talk about what's going on, because it allegedly, I gotta remember to say that. So allegedly, they would be implicating themselves in a lot of these crimes. If they didn't have that immunity, they would be in trouble too, because Cassie's already told us. I forgot what the other girl. It was Cassie's friend. Man, there's so many people. I can't keep up with. I think her last name is Morgan, or is Morgan her first name? I can't remember. There's a Morgan in there that she was friends with Cassie. She's not now, because when she told Cassie about Puffy Jacket assaulting her, Cassie went with. She sided with Puffy Jacket instead of her friend. But she said that they went to the security guard, his security guard, and told him what he had done, and they done nothing. They done nothing. So they would have to have complete immunity. They would have to offer them that in order for them to be able to actually get on the stand and tell the truth. When I say the truth, I'm talking about including what they done, their participation in what happened. And I feel like that's the best way to do it, because then they won't hold anything back. If they know they don't have anything to worry about, such as the security guard from the hotel when it came to them purchasing the tape, right? He because he had complete immunity, he was able to even admit what he did wrong. He admitted to accepting the money, the payment, to make the tape go away. You get me? He could talk freely, and we got the whole context of what happened.
The Hamptons. We get to the Hamptons, and we walk through the house, and we arrive in the backyard near the pool. And my ex at the time, which was Dawn, she gave me a pill. And she said...
Is that what she said it was?
Yeah, she said it was tea, and she said it was from Puff to give to me. And it was red, And I took it because I thought I was gonna get freaky with my girlfriend, you know. And I trusted her that that's what it was. So I took it immediately, and she had one too. He gave her two of them. I took mine within like 20 minutes. I knocked out and blacked out. I woke up in the twins' bedroom in the basement, and I woke up out of my sleep screaming very, very loud.
Who are the twins?
I don't know their names.
Are you talking about Diddy's daughters?
Twins.
Okay.
Yeah. Diddy's twins. His girls. Yeah, I woke up in their bed to cameras filming me, and they were laughing as I woke up out of my sleep, screaming.
Let me pause there. Angel77 says hello again from Liverpool, England. I always say that so you recognize who I am. No, I love it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Welcome, welcome. How's everything going over there across the pond? I hope all is well. And thank you for joining us. I pause right there because two things. I pause right there. He talked about he woke up after he took the D-rug. He passed out. He blacked out. When he woke up in the twins, talking about Puffy Jacket's twin daughters' bed in the basement. Angie says, yeah, not too bad. I hope you're good. I enjoy your lives. Thank you. I am doing good. I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, no complaints at all. And I'm glad that you're doing good. And thank you for saying you enjoy the lives. I hope you continue coming back. You are welcome any and all time here. But the basement in the bed, the bed in the basement, the reason why that kind of triggered me right there is because we spoke about it on a previous show where there was a former bad boy, I forgot what he was. What he did basically was make sure the music was okay. Not a producer, kind of the, I forgot how to say it. I don't know how to put it, but he worked for, he made sure the sounds and everything was good, everything that they needed worked and stuff like that, right? But he was talking about the booth below, right? And talking about the basement, what all went on in the basement. Engineer, thank you, Double Cheeks, thank you, engineer. He was a bad boy, former bad boy engineer. Thank you. He talked about what went on in the booth below, talking about the basement. So there's something about that basement, right? And he talked about how it haunted him. It made him eerie when he went over there. Jess Ann, what's up, bestie? How you doing? It made him uneasy. He got an uneasy feeling behind the things that he heard coming from the booth below in the basement. And so he talked about the twins' bed being in the basement. Jessica, good morning. Jessica Smith and Jessica White, thank you both for the heart me. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, that's okay. Jessica says good. Ain't been on in a while due to school and home and work. Laugh out loud. I understand life happens. It's okay. It's okay. No disrespect at all. Me and the fam doing good. Doing real good. We're about to get ready to take Rudy to a skate party at the skating rink. They're gonna have Stitch up there. So she's a big Lilo and Stitch fan. So we're gonna try to do that this weekend. And then, of course, on Friday, we got a film for the show. Don't forget, Dope Girls coming on YouTube, July 1st, 8 o'clock. Go follow Tay Retta Vision Films on YouTube. Who sent that? Hold on. Who sent that? Jessica, thank you for the sparks. I appreciate Level Up Sparks. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for that Go Popular, Jessica. Angie says, oh my goodness, it gets worse the more we hear about the diddler. Yes, it does. It does. It gets worse. It gets worse. I think yesterday was really, really, really devastating for him. But it's going to get worse. We are still not finished. In fact, same Jane Doe will be on the stand today. But this time the defense gets to ask her the questions. Now that's what we really want to get to, because a lot of people have came on the show yesterday. I keep saying a lot of people. A couple of people came on the show yesterday and were saying that they're going to prove that there was no way he could have dangled Jane Doe off the balcony, 17-story balcony, because he was in New York and they were in LA, something like that. So I want to see, and I got their names written down. So if his defense team don't come with that or say that, I'm going to be calling these two people out. Second thing that was important is he was saying, or why I stopped it, is because he said that when he woke up, they had cameras on him and they were all laughing. Hold on, let me get this comment. Jessica says, yeah, can't wait to hear defense today. Yes, Bestie. I'm excited to hear that. I want to see. This is really going to land it right here. This is going to really make or break her testimony. Because right now, as it stands, she has shredded Puffy Jacket. Yesterday was really damaging, but we're going to see what the defense come with today. Now, the reason why that's important is because we've also stated on previous shows how what they would do is slip a person some D-rug when they pass out. They all take advantage of them while they're incapacitated, and they film it. And so that way, when that person comes back, when I say come back, when they regain their consciousness or whatever, then they let them know, hey, while you was, this is what we done to you, this is how we violated you, and you have to conform to what we want you to do, and if you don't do what we tell you to do, then we'll see to it that this video gets leaked out and your career will be ruined. And so that's why that was significant. Hold on real quick. Before we go back to the audio, I want to see if anything's happening in court. I'm not sure when they were supposed to start today. I thought it was 9, but it could be a little later. I'm not sure. Let's see. Yep. Okay, so pause on that. Let's go read what's going on. Okay, so this is the prosecution asked Mr. Steele, who is on the defense team, Mr. Steele also moved for a mistrial. The judge says, well, he said he was going to move. And then Shapiro, who is also on Puffy Jacket's defense team, says, we object to juror 6 being stricken. It's under seal, but then the judge says, everyone will be heard. Okay. And prior to that, Mr. Shapiro, which is on the defense team. I don't support girl, but okay. They said this is only our second motion for a mistrial. I'm not sure why the government says it's the third. The prosecution team says perjury is only one prong of a 4-part test. The judge says this happened years ago. Miss Bungolin was taking a lot of D-rug. Thank God she's sober. Okay, so let me refresh it and make sure we don't have anything new before we go back to the audio. And we do. Okay, so the judge says, bring in Jane, then the jury. All rise. Judge says, Miss Garagos, I guess, you may proceed with cross-examination. So here we go, Jessica. We're getting to it. Hold on, I missed some of your comments. Let me catch up with your comments on here, too. Okay, Jessica White says to Jess Ann, yeah, that was Cassie's friend. He did that, too. Was that Morgan lady? Just saying said to Jessica, I thought so. Oh, the Bungolan girl. Okay, I got y'all. Shoot, my phone messed up. You get what I was saying. Laugh out loud. Melissa says, I think they're hoping for a mistrial. Yes, they're trying to get one. They're doing all they can to get one. Angie says, I find it very odd in itself the fact a NDA has to be signed just to go to a party. Like what? That is true, Bessie. That is very true. That's very telling. Like that already lets you know before you even get in what it's going to be. That he held over the balcony. So I don't know if that's if that is indeed who it was he was hanging. So this must be her on here. But I don't want to say that because they're trying to keep everything under their pseudonym. So I don't want to say nothing. Right? We won't guess or anything. Jess Ann says, I still feel like there's gonna be a hung jury. I hope not. Kind of makes you wonder if you should even attend. Facts, Jessica. Okay, so 14 seconds to go. A judge says bring in Jane, then the jury. All rise. Miss Garagos, the judge says, Miss Garagos, you may proceed with cross-examination. Garagos says, Jane, we met before. Then you stopped meeting with the defense. That was your choice, right? Jane Doe says, correct. Let's see what we got here. Ms. Garagos says, you were testifying against Mr. Cone. You are testifying against Puffy Jacket. Jane Doe says, I'm testifying against him. And she said that in a question, like, I'm testifying against him. Ms. Garagos says, how many times did they prep you on how to be cross-examined at this trial? Jane Doe answered, maybe 2 or 3 times. Ms. Garagos says, did you bring in another prosecutors to cross you? Oh, did you bring in other prosecutors to cross you? And it says yes. So I don't know if Garagos was saying yes or if that was Jane Doe's answer yes. Because there was no name beside that. So we're going to leave that open. Jessica says she is using her actual name. No, this is Jane Doe. I'm not sure who it is. Like I said, they're keeping after what happened with Mia. After what happened with Mia, they are really cracking down on any content creators that try to bring up these people legal name and stuff. So we don't say nothing about it. Oh, they use Bungolan's real name. Okay. I thought you was asking me if this is Jane Doe, if that was her real. I was like, look, I'm not. We can't do that. Angie said, sorry, Angie. Imagine me having a barbecue and telling my friends, just sign here. They'd be like, what? Yeah, they would give you that eye, right? Not only sign right here, but turn in your cell phones too. Like what? Jessica said the dimple cheeks. Yeah, it's crazy how everything stayed so quiet. Jessica says no. Okay, I read that and laugh out loud. Well, I think the reason it was so quiet is because a lot of people are involved. Dimple cheeks said the difference. Our friends aren't famous. Correct. All right. Okay, I'm gonna refresh it one more time. If they don't have any update, we're gonna go back to the audio for a second, and we'll bounce back over here. Hope you all can keep up with me. All right, so we're gonna go back to the audio. Remember, we talked about he just waking up and saw that he was laying in the basement in the twins' bed and woke up to cameras being on him and people laughing.
And it felt like I'm not gonna cry.
It's okay. Yeah, take your time. It's okay. It's understandable that you're reliving this and emotion comes with it. There's just no way around it. So
It felt very sacrificial. That's what I meant when I said I felt like they were trying to hurt me, or Diddy was trying to maybe sacrifice.
Now, again, I had covered this, but like I said, I think he's going to talk more about it, or the truth is going to talk more about it. But like really, really try to put yourself in this situation, man. You going, hanging out, thinking, you know, you with your girl, y'all about to get into something, and then
Sasha
next thing
says
you know,
he
you done
said,
blacked
"Thank
out.
God
You woke
she
up
was
with
sober."
cameras,
Right? Isn't that crazy?
and this dude laughing.
Melissa says, as a
You
father,
don't
how
know what
could
just
he
happened.
do that
You don't know what's
in the
about to
room
happen.
of his girls? Right.
My
Weird
goodness,
stuff.
man.
That night, I didn't say when I went on Vlad TV, I didn't say anything about fighting.
No, it's not a little raw.
Hold on. What he's discussing in regards to Vlad TV
It's,
is that's one of the interviews
Jamel,
that the boys
aka
did.
Jamal.
He had to leave gaps within that interview, and they
And,
decided to fill those gaps. It's kind of what I've experienced this past week. As you
It was, I think it's Q from Day 26 that's talking.
guys know, we started this out, and it was, you know, we all have this intention to talk our way through to the end of this trial and hopefully see justice for whatever whatever is proven and whatever the jury decides. Even you had situations that were just made up out of nowhere. So did I last week. He was discussing one in which he couldn't say certain things because he's honoring a contract, and within that, people decided to fill in the blanks. So he discussed an email. He had tears. People put it together that he's crying over an email and what it basically tried to suggest that he's not a man and he's boohooing over an email.
I know there's some details about the incident you described. Maybe you don't want to get into. And no, let's get into it. Okay, we can. Can I go with how I know you can be?
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep your operation running. That's why at Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger.
Sorry, there was a commercial playing on another video. Hold on.
Incident, you left there feeling, you called it sacrificial, but
you
felt
dimple
as
cheeks,
if
man.
they were hurting me in my sleep because I woke up screaming. I woke up out of my sleep screaming. So what I mean by it felt like sacrificial, it felt like someone was trying to hurt me or take me out because I possibly couldn't have woke up out of my sleep that night.
Do you know what happened to you?
I woke up screaming like a girl to the top of my lungs at a high pitch.
Well, did you have clothes on?
I think I was in my shorts because I remember jumping into a swimming pool.
But do you believe that some of what happened to you was recorded on one or many of these iPhones?
Oh, yeah. I saw phones and lights. It wasn't a video camera. It was a phone camera light.
So there are people who do know what happened to you, and there's a reason you believe why they're not telling you?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to pause right there. Let's go back and check. Let's go back and check. Let's go back and check what's going on in court. Y'all keep a bookmark right there. Okay. Ms. Garrigo says, you choice, I think she meant your choice, to participate in that lifestyle for many years, and you did not want to break up with him, right? Jane Doe says, I did not want to. Ms. Garrigo says, you had sex with other men for years. Jane answered, I resent the emotional control. I was hooked from the start. Jane goes on to say, there was pressure to perform these acts my lover desired. Ms. Garrigos asked, you used the word partner again and again on direct. He was your partner? Jane answered, yes. Ms. Garrigos asked, you said you've having trouble answering for yourself why you had sex with these men. Okay, so I guess that was the response earlier. Okay, because she said yes. Jane Doe answered yes. Okay, let's see. You all keeping up? You good? Trying to see if they come up with any updates yet. Sometimes it's slow. All right, Ms. Garrigo says, or asked, "You are in therapy now?" Jane Doe responded, "Yes." Ms. Garrigos asked, "You love Mr. Puffy Jacket?" Jane Doe responds, "I love to spend time with my partner." Ms. Garrigos asked, "You wanted to cuddle with him?" Jane Doe responded, "To give him foot rubs, you said." The prosecution, Comey, yells, "Objection to counsel making herself a witness." All right, so looks like they're already sparring back and forth here. I want to see if they're going to bring up that he wasn't there. Like these, the people we had in the chat yesterday was saying, the two people. And we're going to get back to the audio. Just, we want to make sure we stay up to date on this as much as possible. All right, we'll give it one more time, and then if it's nothing new, we'll go to the audio for a few minutes. All right, so nothing new yet. So let's go back to the audio again.
Damn.
As you heard for yourself, Q revealed how Diddy tried to sacrifice him, how he woke up with cameras filming him while Diddy and others were demonically laughing. This is how the industry blackmails artists. This is how they get them to keep secrets and not speak out. Diddy filmed this guy likely being R-worded. He was using him in a ritual and filming it. This person even told Vlad that he believed Diddy was going to sacrifice him, so he told people around him just in case he went missing. This is what the industry does to the artist. A long time ago, Isaac Cappy exposed this very thing. For those who don't know who Isaac Cappy was, he was an actor who was in movies like Thor and The Terminator. A few years back, he started exposing Hollywood and calling out many actors he knew were PDF files that used. He named them by name and also exposed how the elite in Hollywood filmed celebrities doing disturbing, compromising things in order to blackmail them and keep them from speaking out. Not long after Isaac Cappy started exposing Hollywood, he died. According to the media, he did it to himself, but those
That's one of the things they will always say, that the person unalived themselves. That's one of them. I mean, they use it so much. So sometimes when you hear somebody you are a fan of that's a celebrity, and especially if you know they've been exposing or telling the truth, and then they come up all of a sudden passed away, and they tell you that it was a heart attack or self-deletion. Come on. Don't buy that. Don't pay closer attention. Did they? Okay, let's go back. Let's see. Let's go back to, because one of my moderators said they struck the juror. All right, Jane Doe says, "I love to bathe him and we watch his favorite shows." Ms. Garrigo says, "Which show was that?" She said, "Dateline." Jane Doe responded, "Dateline." Ms. Garrigos asked, "Did you believe he was not doing this with anyone else?" Jane Doe responded, "During this time period." And then Ms. Garrigos asked, "You look at his messages?" And Jane Doe responded, "Yes." I didn't see where they struck the juror. I know they was talking about it. I heard that, but I don't see it on here. I know they were talking about it, so may have happened, bestie. I feel like Miss Garagos is starting off light though, and that's pretty much how she's. Because when she's questioned um, other people on the stand, she'd start off like she was inviting, and then she just try to like go in for the juggler. All right, so Jane Doe responds to, in addition to her yes, Jane Doe responds and says, he was vulnerable in those hotel rooms, and I shared that with him. It was conflicting. I was breaking all my boundaries so that he would feel loved. I don't know what she means by he was vulnerable. I don't know if she meant he felt some kind of way because it's been alleged that his man tool is the size of a Tootsie Roll, and the guys that she was participating with during the FOs were, I guess, blessed more than he was. I don't know. Ms. Garrigo says, this brought you two together? Jane responds, yes, the love making afterwards. That's why I enjoyed it. And again, I apologize for some of the things being said. Jessica Smith, thank you for that. You're awesome. I appreciate that. Thank you. I apologize if some of the things are racy, borderline, I apologize. Melissa, thank you for the rose. I appreciate you. Thank you all for the gifts. I hate it when it's a delay like this, man. It'd be so good. Like, it's so interesting. Again, this is why I wish it was televised. But I know, like, I get it. I think you said it yesterday, Dimple Cheeks. It's wild. So imagine if it was actually televised, what we would see. And you're right. You're right on that. It's just crazy. She's tails. Okay, I missed that one. That update was. All right, we're gonna give it a few more. Dimple Cheeks, I'm telling the chaos that would ensue. Yeah, it would. You're right. You're right, bestie. You're right. It would be. Woo. They probably had to fade to black quite often. We think commercial breaks are bad on here. It'd have been bad then. Okay, one more refresh. If there's no new update, we'll jump back to the audio. And thank you guys for keeping up with me. All right, so, yeah, no updates. Let's go back to the audio.
With a brain. No, he didn't, especially since he said he wouldn't days before. What Q was exposing is the same thing that Isaac was saying. Diddy filmed it both as a hazing ritual and as collateral just in case they need to take him down. What this man went through is truly horrible. It's truly disturbing. He can't even talk about the situation without breaking out in tears. You can see his pain. He went through something really dark. It's truly sad the internet tried to mock him for crying on Vlad TV. But if they knew what he went through, they would understand why he was crying. This is spiritual, not just physical. It's interesting that he called out Dawn for giving him the pill in the first place. I wonder if she was involved, or did he trick her into giving him that pill? But honestly, she could have been the one trying to offer him as a sacrifice to make it to the next level. People don't believe in sacrifice.
Pause. What did we say? What did I tell you? What did I tell you all prior? Just a few minutes ago. When you do things like that, is it the blood sacrifices? So when you sacrifice people, you get to level up. You get to go to another plateau. So that everything I told you, just and I promise, We're watching this together in real time together. So this just lets you know what I'm telling you, right? Melissa says, I'm confused. Okay, what's that, love? Let me see if I can help you. What are you confused about? Level up. Okay, got you. So in the industry, when you are trying to make it to a certain level of fame, when you want to get, let's say you're an actress. Now, I'm speaking, not saying you would do this, but I'm saying because you're a female actress. Okay, so you're an actress, and there's this really big movie coming up, and you want that major part. You would do a blood sacrifice, or you would make some sacrifice, and so if you do that sacrifice, the more sinister, the higher your chances are of getting that part of the movie. You get me? And that's what we mean by level up. You get to move up in the rankings in the elite society. Little brother, good morning. Grand rising to you. Jessica Smith says, like rumors about Katy Perry. Yes, Katy Perry is another one. However, one thing I like about Katy Perry is she stated it in an interview. She just said,
I sold my soul.
she said it. She said it. And she came from a church family, you know, and things like that in her upbringing. But Tiffany, good morning. Good morning, love. Melissa Melissa said, I'll keep my dramatic self at home. Right, look, listen. My son is getting into this line of work as far as acting. And when he goes to LA and does his shoots his scenes and stuff, I'm constantly on the phone with him and his mom, like, hey, y'all good? Where you at? What you doing? You know, his mom is my ex-wife, but still, you know, her and our baby is out there, so I need to make sure everybody's okay. And I told him, once you get into the bigger parts, you go to the party, you get a party invite, just know that we got a party invite. We all going, and we'll pick our drinks up on the way there, and we'll keep our drinks when we there. Okay? We not accepting drinks from nobody else, because that's how stuff like this happen. Angie says, didn't Lady Gaga say something similar to? Yes, she sure did. She sure did. And I love Lady Gaga for that too. She sure did. Her, Billie Eilish, she's another one. Yes, some of these people come out, but they got to be careful. And what they done to Lady Gaga was really bad. All right, let's see what's going on in court. We missed some. I'm sorry. I apologize. Okay. Jane Doe says he was vulnerable in those hotel rooms. Okay, we read that. Okay, so the next thing is Miss Garagos asked, you tried to be very smexy to him in those rooms. Jane Doe responded, I think I was smexy in those rooms. Miss Garagos asked, because you are a beautiful woman, did you choose the wardrobe? Jane Doe says, initially, he did. Now, that's telling, because when him and Jay Ello broke up, after the whole incident we talked about in the club, you know, the incident we talked about in the club, that was one of the things that Jay Ello stated, that he was very controlling. Like, even when it came to what she wore, he had to have a say-so over if she got to wear it or not. Ms. Garagos asked, he liked baby oil. It turned him on? Jane Doe responded, yes. Yeah, we all know he did, right? Angie says, yeah, Billie Eilish, I forgot about that. Yes, she did. And I'm a fan of hers as well. Ms. Garagos says, how old were you when you started your relationship with Puffy Jacket? Jane Doe responded, 35. Ms. Garagos asked, what are examples of your fantasy talk in those rooms? Jane Doe responded, he would have me and the entertainer be in a role play, cheating role play, that Puffy Jacket left town Listen, I always say this, and I'll continue saying it. To each his own. You know, people have their own fetishes and stuff like that. To each his own. Not knocking that, but a cuckold is just like, I just don't understand that. I don't understand that logic. I don't understand how that's a fetish for a man or woman. How do you be a cuckold? If I have any of them in here, please let me know. Marie says, yes, sir. Will this convict him? I don't think this is, I don't think, I don't think so, bestie. If I'm a juror or if I'm a judge, I'm not gonna, I can't convict him for what he's being charged for based on the fact that he likes to be a cuckold. That doesn't really paint the picture for me. And you know me, Bessie. I'm gonna call it down the middle. I'm gonna call it down the middle. If I'm the judge, this doesn't give me anything I need to convict him of what he's being charged for. That's just his fetish. That's just his niche. I don't get it. Like I'm saying now, I don't get it. I don't understand it. Couldn't be me. But if he likes it, I love it. For him. I don't love it for me. I love it for him. That's what he likes, you know. Now, here's where I will be able to convict him on what he's being charged of if I'm the judge. I have seen and there's been proven of the forced labor. So I will get him on that. I got the forced labor. I've got the kidnapping. I've got extortion. I've got money laundering. Right? So I got enough. I got enough. If I'm the judge, I got enough already to convict him. I do. But I cannot do it just solely based off of his crazy fetish. Tiffany says male dysfunction is my theory. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I mean, like, I just, with me, even if I had that issue, I still wouldn't want to see my woman being hunched by another dude. Like, I don't know, right? Again, I say I'm not trying to be judgmental. All I'm saying is I don't understand. I don't understand how women could do. I don't. If you're a woman and you're with a guy, I cannot understand how watching your man hunch another female is gonna turn you on. I don't know. Angie says how I look at it, he should be called out for illegal conduct, not legal fantasies. Facts. I agree. Marie says yes, totally agree. Jessica Smith says couldn't be me. I would have walked straight out. Right. Look, where I come from, where I grew up at, when stuff like this happened, if one woman or man was to walk in on their significant other having these relations with another female or male, it usually turned out in somebody getting or poked a couple times. You see what I'm saying? So I guess I don't know anybody who's like, and they may be Ace Run VB, I think I'm pronouncing that right, says money changes everything. And that is an unfortunate true statement. Charlie Sprinkles says peace, Emperor. Hey, peace, Emperor. Hey, peace and blessings to you, brother. How you doing today? Jessica said it always turns bad. Most people are not built for these situations. Correct. And I fall in that category. I'm not built, designed, anything like that. Hey Justin, what's good with you, brother? Hey, thank you for that daily heart me and to go popular. I appreciate it. Marie says, but they weren't receiving money, enough money to go through that. I agree. I don't know. To be honest, I don't even know if there's an amount that I could say that would work for. Tiffany said, me either. Yeah, it just doesn't work. Miss Gargano's asked, I can't say that. How levitated, how about that, were your heels? Jane says 6 to 7 inches. Usually I wear 3 to 4 inch heels. Garagos asked, you wanted your child to be closer to your child's father, but did the father see the child? And Jane responded, what does that have to do with this? Great question. Great question. Although I will add some context on that. Here's another thing that I would charge him with when it comes to the extortion part is because he threatened her that if she didn't do these things, that he would show I'm talking about Puffy Jacket. When I say he would show these videos to her baby's father. Right? Charlie Sprinkles says, no one is built for it. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I don't think so, bro. Listen, we are just not going to idly sit by and watch our women or woman. I say women because I'm saying for you, me, and everything. We're not going to watch them have sexual relationship with another man and be cool with it. Justin, thank you for that journal. I appreciate it. Thank you, brother. It's not going to turn out right. It's going to be First 48. It's going to be ID channel. We're going to be the star on a lot of shows on the channel if that go down like that. Like, it's just something that wouldn't work. So, again, I'm speaking from I'm trying to be non-judgmental. So I'm coming from a place of me not understanding. You get me? Hey, Justin, thank you for that gold medal. I appreciate that. My man. I appreciate it. Thank you for the gift. Jessica says, I'm going to be on Snap. Right? Listen. Charlie Sprinkle says, that's her saying that, so it's hearsay. That is true to a degree, because you got to remember that the SMEX workers have came in and said the same thing. So Matthew Collins says, I'd have a whole Lifetime movie made after me. Right? Rita, good morning, bestie. Little brother, boy, it'll be a marathon. You heard me? Listen, again, to the fetish, to each his own. Not me, though. Not me, not my little brother, not Charlie Sprinkles. It is not going to work like that. It's going to be a whole lot of misunderstandings. Forget the under. All right, so I'm going to try it one more time. If it's nothing new, you know how we doing it. Back to the audio, right? All right, so nothing new. All right, so let's go back to Q.
This is in the music industry, but artists like Kanye West have admitted his mother was a sacrifice.
And here,
my mama was sacrificed.
My mama was sacrificed.
You understand? Yeah. Michael Jordan, what about him? His daddy, right? Bill Cosby, his son, right? Dr. Dre, his son. They're out in Hollywood. A lot of people come up missing.
Sacrifices in the music
Angie
industry
said, I
are
just
all
tell
a
the
part
police,
of the
come
game.
get me.
The
I did.
industry operates in the
She
world
said,
of
I'm
the
outside
occult.
waiting.
Sacrificing to deities goes back to ancient Egyptian times. Even the Bible speaks of people.
Charlie Sprinkles says, Puffy Jacket is going home. They haven't proven the RICO. Boy, stop. You're funny.
People making sacrifices to Baal and Moloch for financial blessings. Many people think it's a conspiracy theory that the music industry is controlled by the Illuminati. It's not a conspiracy theory. But it isn't the Illuminati per se that controls the music industry, it's actually the Freemasons. The Freemasons have been deeply invested in the music industry since the start. They identified the power of music early on and how important frequencies are in influencing people. I have been telling you guys for years now that the music industry is more than just music. It isn't just nice beats and good sounding vocals. It's much deeper on a spiritual level. In heaven, music was used to praise God. It was a powerful tool that used frequencies to direct praise to the Almighty. If you know anything about how the world works, you would know that this world is essentially created by frequencies. In quantum physics, everything is understood to be composed of energy that vibrates at different frequencies, and these vibrations are the basis of what we perceive as matter in reality. Music is more spiritual than what it seems. The music industry is directly connected to this spiritual world. Unfortunately, here on Earth, it is controlled by malicious spirits. We are seeing that with the rise and fall of Diddy. Through Diddy, we are witnessing what spirit exactly is controlling the music industry. Just take a look at the Freemasons' involvement in jazz, rock and roll, and even the beginning of hip-hop. Jazz has been directly connected to Masonry from the beginning. Jazz legends like Duke Ellington, Nat King Cole, Fats Waller, and Dizzy were all members of the Prince Hall Freemasons. Jazz was inspired by the blues, and the blues, especially Mississippi blues, are highly spiritual. If you saw the movie Sinners, you would have seen not only how spiritual music is, but how all music is powered by the same spirits.
Oh, so that's what that Sinners movie was about. Okay, now I get it now. I didn't understand first. Charlie says all they have proven is that he's a petty and terrible guy. He's right. That's real-ish. Angie said, I think Charlie Sprinkles could be on to something, though. Seriously, I have a nagging in my mind. Melissa says, wait, what? My dad's been a Mason since the early 80s. He's no creep, just grouchy. Oh, my gosh. Charlie Sprinkles says, the way you control the youth is to control the music. Yep. Yep, no lies detected there. Tiffany says, that Sinners movie was morbid. I could have lived my whole life without seeing it. You know, hey, Tiffany, I told a lot of people after I watched it, I was like, that was overhyped. Like, it wasn't, okay, let me say it this way. It wasn't the worst movie I've seen, but it didn't hit like people were saying it was going to hit. Like, for me, I didn't get it. Like, not that I didn't get it, I just didn't think it was that great of a movie that people were saying it was, right? Yeah, it was blood and gore, yeah. Charlie Sprinkle says, Mason are everywhere. Preacher, judges, police officers, politicians, correct. And there's no lies there. And it is a pyramid of power. Tiffany says, I'm glad I ain't the only one. Marie says, I didn't like it, just like I didn't care for Straw. I saw Straw, and it confused me. I'm gonna be honest, because I was like, okay, so did it happen or did it not happen? Okay, so at what point did it happen? Because, and we don't want to get the movie away, her daughter had already, what happened to her daughter had happened, and that's what made her go crazy. Like, I was lost in it. But then again, it's a Tyler Perry movie. That's, or what he's already been connected to, allegedly. Angie says, Jag Wright has been talking about frequencies in music and how it affects us. I'm afraid I agree. She has been. Listen, she's another one that they try to portray as being crazy. Now, she does go off the rocker sometimes and over animated, but at the same time, and by her doing that, you can get lost in what she's saying. But it's some truth into what she's saying. It's some truth. The only thing I have with Jag is that I just wish she would provide receipts so people could understand and take her seriously. That's the only thing. Okay, Miss Garagos asks, who you fly weekly to Miami to see? Mr. Puffy Jacket. I don't know what that meant. Jane Doe responded, sometimes. Ms. Garagos asked, we listed to 5 voice notes in which Mr. Puffy Jacket sounded angry, but he'd sent you thousands, right? Jane Doe responded, yes. Ms. Garagos asked, why did you feel he was larger than life? And Jane Doe responded, bright light, which I think we all agree to that, you know. Charlie Sprinkle said Jaguar has been placed there. You mean like as a informant, or like working with the Alphabet gang? I don't know why it keeps blocking your comments. The last two witnesses helped the prosecution. Laugh out loud. Yes, yes. I've heard that too. That because she's been at some of these events, right? But yeah, I heard that she's a plant too, brother. Her and Vlad. Tiffany says, I've heard she's an industry plant to cause confusion. Yep. I've heard the same thing, Tiffany. Jane Doe says, he introduced me to the gospel. He had a favorite pastor he'd watch on TV. Uh-oh. I wonder if this is going to be Mr. Power Bottom. Ms. Garagos asked, has that stayed with you? She asked. Jane Doe responded, yes. Ms. Garagos says, do you watch that pastor today? Objection sustained. All right. And so Ms. Garagos goes on to ask, how much did you invest in your dress line? Jane Doe responded, $20,000. Ladies, I love you. I love you. $20,000 for a dress. We need to talk. We got to talk on that. Charlie Sprinkles says Puffy got recordings telling her to leave him alone. Laugh out loud. Right, he does. They also have recordings of him also manipulating her too. So it's like it go both ways. I get, yeah, you're right. I heard that yesterday. They actually was talking about it, and he said that he asked how much, name a price. He told her to name a price, so he could just have closure and like leave alone. But at the same time, he also held over the fact that he was paying her rent, and that if she didn't do what he wanted her to do, then she would stop. I mean, he would stop. My friend said she out of money from Camel Face, so she a clout chaser. Heard that too. Oh, that's on the stand now, the Jane Doe. If we go by feelings, he's going to jail. If we go by law, he's going home. I had to respectfully disagree, brother. Anytime you take somebody and make them go commit a crime with you, that's kidnapping. Anytime you spend money and you say it's for something from a business account or from your business, and you say it's for a certain thing and it's for crime, you know, when you purchase a tape so it doesn't get out, it's money laundering. When you tell somebody, listen, unless you pay me this amount of money, I'm gonna put this tape out, that's extortion. Those things have been proven. So here's what I believe. I believe we have a person that was used to getting away with so much and thought that he was invincible. And even though he did record some of these things in order to have, I guess, to blackmail people, or allegedly, or to just have something on people, he never thought that it would come back and bite him in the, you know what, in the behind. I don't think he ever thought it would be for his downfall. Now, again, two things can be the same though, brother. He could be guilty of everything and still be found not guilty. And vice versa. Vice versa. You could think, well, he's guilty, and then, he's innocent and then be found guilty. So It could go either way. It really just, but based off what I've heard and what I've read from like doing this from what's going on in court, there's enough there to get their case. Now, like me and Dimple Cheeks was saying, I'm sorry, I said me and Dimple Cheeks and I was saying yesterday, you still got to put the pressure on. You still got to keep going. Like you can't just say, or you can't. The prosecution can't think that they just got everything they needed and that it is a done deal. You got to still put reinforcement on it if that's what you want to prove. All right, still no update. I'm gonna refresh it one more time. I see I got a guess. I'm gonna open the panel up near the end of the show. So just remember what you want to say, and then I'll probably start bringing panel guests up around 10:45, because about 11 I have to end the show. And don't forget, those that are here, if share if you care, keep tapping and clapping, and gift and uplift. And your presence is greatly appreciated here. All right, yeah, so they don't have anything up far yet. So we're going to go back
Well, I
to
was
Q.
just about to say, man, it reminds me of Sinners when he started talking about the jazz and stuff. I told y'all, man, when I be talking about this stuff gets really deep, you have to be willing to go there as far as letting your mind think outside the box. Just it gets really deep, man. It's scary. It is. The truth can be very scary, and like I said, I feel like most people fear that. That's why they stay away from it. You know, people just want to listen to their favorite artists and enjoy the song and stuff like that and the lyrics, which is all fine and dandy. But at the end of the day, when you start to do some research,
Dr.
and really
Rashida,
understand
thank you for that
how
heart me. How you
dark
doing
it
this
is,
morning?
and then you start to see the artists like, man, I don't know, something changed about this person. They not like they used to be. Yeah. Yeah. It gets crazy, man.
How's your day going
This
so
is a
far?
great video.
All right, this feels almost illegal to know.
But these commercials, boy, they don't even tell you, hey, give you a countdown going to a commercial in 5, 4, 3. None of that. None of that. They just like drop it in. You're doing excellent. Okay, good. I'm glad you're doing excellent. Charlie Sprinkles, thank you for that goat. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you. Hey, thank you for that dolphin. The Dolphins, Dr. Rashida. Thank you. Summer, I appreciate that daily heart me. Thank you. Ooh, the gift, what y'all do the gifts. The white dove, thank you, Charlie Sprinkles. Brother, I appreciate that white dove. Thank you.
They showed us how this spirit powered the music from the beginning till today. The same spirit that was found in Blue.
But hold on, let me pause real quick. I want to say this. So now when we go back to the Sinners movie, now I see what the YT people that was playing the jazz or the music, I get it now what they were saying and why they were what they were. Like, I don't know if that was zombies. I don't know what they turned into, but now I get it. Thank you for the rose, Charlie Sprinkle. Charlie Sprinkle says people are so numb that they can show them and they can't do anything about it. You talking about the alleged victims? And again, I hate saying alleged. But you know. He says, no, we will still listen to music and to artists. Oh, yeah, right. They're still going to play it. Right. Okay, they're back. Hold on. Miss Garagos asked, why did you join OnlyFans? Jane Doe responded, if I could get off it, I would. Financial need, she says, is why she started the OF. Ms. Garagos asked, Mr. Puffy Jacket gave you money throughout the relationship. In 3.5 years, does $150,000 sound right? Jane Doe says, I would assume. Ms. Garagos says, you told the government you gravitate toward providers. Jane Doe responded, yes. As a woman, I like that. Ms. Garagos, she asked, you called the house our house. Jane Doe responded, later I saw it as my house. Now that's a win. That's a win for Puffy Jacket right there. My little brother says, I would have told you to look for more than just blood, gore, and vampires. Yeah, I didn't even know that was part of it in the beginning. I didn't even know that was part of it, so I was kind of thrown off. But that when watching this video, I get it now. Like, it all makes sense now as to where that was going. But one question. So I do want to ask, because you saw the movie, little brother. Now, was the YT girl, was she, which fine by the way, but was she messing with the guy, the twin brothers? Was she messing with the one that she'd always been messing with? Or was she messing with his brother? Because I felt like that was also trying to give us like a biblical sin thing too, right? And I don't know if I'm getting that right. Charlie Sprinkle says, but that's not against the law. No. I know it's not against the law. I was just asking. I didn't know if it was the twin, his brother that they was married, or if it was the same one. Okay, Megan isn't just YT. She's mixed. Okay, she had an affair with Stax. Okay. So it was the brother. Wait. So adultery is the sin that they was getting at on that. Got it. I see what you're saying. Got it. All right. Ms. Garagos asked, you thought it was important that his staff not know about the entertainers, right? And then the prosecution screams out, objection. The judge said, overruled. Keep going. Jane Doe responded, right. She didn't want people on his staff to know what she was doing. Ms. Garagos asked, and that's a reason you go to the house. That and a yard for your son. Jane Doe responded, can you say my child? Yeah, I can see where that'd be an issue. She should have just said child, because once in a roundabout way, in a vague way, she's doxing her by saying that. Charlie Sprinkle says, no, the batteries, I can't say it, and I'll be. Oh, okay, got you. Yeah, absolutely, you cannot. Carmen said, yep. Repentant heart every day. Hey, good morning. Says, has court started yet? Yes, they did start. I think it started at 9. I think it started at 9 today. However, Judge Submaranian told him to be prepared to go longer, stay longer. He's trying to get this over with. Not in a haste, not in a rush, but I think the reason why he's telling them to stay over is because he doesn't want them to get that mistrial that they're trying to get. They're working hard to get, and the defense team is trying to work hard to get in the mistrial. My little brother says something else. Mary's character kind of points at women who blend into different cultures. So are they trying to say that blending in different cultures is wrong? I know we got like 3 things going. People like, what? Wait, what? But I'm just trying to figure out that movie. Charlie Sprinkle says everything that witnesses said didn't have anything to do with a. This witness, nah, yeah, it did kind of. It. If you're looking at it, you could easily put extortion on here, as far as him saying, "Hey, I'll take, you know." Basically, he's giving her gifts as long as she keeps doing what he wants her to do. But if she don't, then, you know, that's extortion. I can't tell you keep doing this because I'm doing you a favor, and I keep doing this. Well, I'm calling it a favor. You know, as long as you keep doing what I want you to do, and then too, I can't say, hey, all right, Charlie, if you do this, if you don't do this right here, I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tell you, and I don't know if you're married or not, but I'm just gonna use you as that, okay? I can't say, okay, well, I'm gonna take this video I got of you and this person right here, and I'm gonna show it to your wife. So you better keep doing what I'm telling you to do. I'm extorting you. That's a crime. Whether you like Puffy Jacket or not, that's a crime. I can't do that. My little brother says, but when she says, when she was turned, she was easily welcomed back into the bar without issue. Oh, yes, she was. That is true. That is true. Doesn't sound like she was being forced. Yeah, yeah. Well, of course. Like they all. Okay, let me see if I can put it to you this way, brother. At one point, they were not forced. They went along with it. And they've all admitted that. They went along with it in order to please what they thought he was their lover. But it got to a point where they told him that they did not want to do it anymore. And they was met with abuse, physical abuse, and the threat of what he's already recorded being released. And to the point where, okay, let me take you through it right here. Hold on, just make sure there's no update. Hold on. So, during one of these FOs, Puffy Jacket used one of the they call them S workers now. Used one of the S workers' phones to record. So, that same S worker that was there, that he used this phone to record what was going on, came and told her, hey, I got this recorded on my phone. Puffy Jacket recorded on his phone, on the S worker's phone. And he said, I'm going to release it unless you pay me $10,000. She went and told Puffy Jacket about it. Puffy Jacket told her to contact. She said Puffy Jacket started crying. But anyway, she said that he went and told her to get legal with it, on it, talking about, tell his legal team, his attorneys and stuff. And so she did that, and then she told the S worker, hey, I'm not, this is extortion. I'm not doing that. But the fact of the matter is, after that, he was saying, hey, if you don't do this, then I'm going to release a lot of stuff. And it got to a point that same video that was on the S worker's phone, some media group actually bought it. And they contacted her and told her about it. Yeah, we all say they should have left, but you know, they've already had experts on the stand that told you why victims don't leave and stay and stuff like that. So, and like I told you before, I was one of those same kind of people that you, just like you saying, he should have just left. I asked my kid's mother that all the time when she was with her abusive boyfriend. But, you know, I didn't understand that then. I got it later on. But they all, by the time they figure out what's going on to them, they've already, fell in love with this person. They've already, and a lot of times, victims convince themselves that the person that they love isn't that way. It's just, it was a bad day, or they was just stressed, or something like that. They try to make excuses for the abuser. So that's why they don't leave. Right. I get you saying, but see, we're speaking from us, what we would do. But at the same time, we've never been put in that situation neither. So it's kind of hard for us to say. We would say what we think we wouldn't do. You know, like we wouldn't stand for that, and we may not. But also, we have to understand that everybody's not mentally strong as other people. That's one of the main things a groomer does is they groom you and then strip you from your sensibility of strength or even your confidence in yourself. That's part of the stages. That's part of the actions. Dimple Cheek says, unless you are an abuser or been abused, refrain from making lame comments about staying. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, so we're not in that situation. We can't really say. We're not at liberty to speak on that, you know. Angie says they love bomb you at first to draw you in. Right, and that's the grooming part. Right. They and I seen this done with my kid's mother. I'm telling y'all. And this is somebody I was with for 20, 30 years. 5 kids together. And when our first 2 kids, she was one of the strongest, amazing women I know. And she'd already endured things in her past that was traumatic. But then when she got with her ex-boyfriend, and he not only physically abusive, mentally abusive, but in the beginning, he showered her with gifts. He made her feel important because I had cheated on her and broke her heart. So he came in and seemed like he was the knight in shining armor, but all the while he was grooming her. And I'll tell you something, right after we broke up and she left and moved back to Georgia and I was in Florida, I had a dream and I told her. I called her and I said, man, look, I had a dream about you last night. It's a lot of blood. You was bleeding real bad. I didn't know what it was, but what it was, he was going to abuse her later on down the road. But at that moment, he was buying our kids video games, and so she thought he was a great man. Then look what happened. Dr. Rashid said, I just completed a study on empathy, book loading. You got to share that with us, bestie. What's against the law, Charlie, is, again, anytime you decide to extort somebody, that's where the problem come in at. If I tell you that if you don't do something for me, I'm going to leak this video of you in a compromising situation, I am extorting you. That is a crime, and that falls under the Ricardo Act. That's one of the Ricardo things too. When I know that you have video footage of me doing a crime, and I come to you and I say, hey, Charlie, look, man, I'm going to give you this 50 grand. I'm going to give you 50 stacks if you just give me that tape, man, because, you know, if it get out, it could damage my career. I know I did the crime, and I'm paying you for it. And it's coming from my company account. I gave you cash from my company account. I gave you cash, so there's really no evidence of where it's going. But I paid you it. Now you got money laundering. You see what I'm saying? Summer says, my mom feared for her life and mine if she left. My dad groomed her too. Had me at 16. She was stuck. Yeah, that's another form of it. That's another form too. Like a lot of them, they be afraid to leave because some of these abusers threaten their families. Like if you do this, you know, your mom, your dad, you know, I'll make sure they lose their jobs. They won't have anything, you know. And that has been stated that it happened in this case too. Not with her, but with, you know, a past person that was on the stand. So those are all things that go into it. Now, when they say Ricardo, they don't mean just like I said, they don't mean he's out in the street and just like Scarfacing or Tony Soprano and or John Gotti and people. That's not what that's not the Ricardo they're getting at. That's not the Ricardo they're getting at. Just like some people say, well, you can't have a Ricardo charge on one person. Well, the thing about it, that is true to a degree. It's true as far as the Ricardo charge was actually made for organized crime ring, like a group, right? But when he has people on his payroll that he has helping him assist in covering up crimes, that's when it becomes an organization, a crime organization. And that's how it falls into the Ricardo charge. Let's see. Dimple Cheek says it's part of the jingle. No, they are putting their puzzle pieces together. Right. And that's what we were saying from the beginning. It's going to be a slow and steady process. Like we said, I gave the analogy on one of my shows. When it comes to a baseball game, they don't play the ninth inning to the first inning. You start in the first inning, you go to the ninth inning. It's the same thing here. They built the foundation. They're putting the pieces together. Now, some of the pieces have already proven it. Again, I have to say, if you choose not to see it, whether you choose to see it or not is on the eyes of the beholder. But they have they've given it. They've proven their point. The thing that I'm saying is just keep going. Don't stop. Because you want it to be airtight. Because anything that's left, any stone left unturned will leave an avenue for him to, or a loophole for him to get through, and could beat that. Dr. Rashida says women are rarely in flight mode. Typically, we are in fight mode. Correct. That is so correct. Dimple Cheek says they are putting out the many examples he extorted, blackmail, unwillingly taken a person. Right. Even another thing that they're trying to put, and has, I think, done a pretty good job of it. They're talking about, when it comes to the Ricardo, is the forced labor. We just heard yesterday, she was telling him, hey, I'm sick. You know, she was spitting up and stuff like that. And he told her, good, to get in there and go and suck that dude's, you know, and I think that was like the third or fourth one that day, but she was just telling him, like, you know, I'm tired. I don't want to do it no more. And he would get mad at her and abusive. Charge can be brought against a single individual. Yes, it can. And it is. Fight mode leads us to believe we got to do what we got to do. That came from Dr. Rashida. Summer says to Dr. Rashida, 100%. Charlie Sprinkle says, well, she didn't fight or fly. Well, the one time she did, yesterday she was saying she did throw like candles and stuff and glass, but he ended up putting her in a chokehold, chasing her into the closet, putting her in a chokehold, and hitting her upside the head, and then slapping her when she got into the shower. I swear, man, when I tell you you guys' comments, it don't even be that severe, and they block it. That suggests, okay, so now, because a lot of people say domestic violence. Here's where it's, okay, a domestic violence, if it happened at a home, like a residence where they lived, and it was just them two, yes, that's DV. But when it takes place in a hotel room, that is a public establishment, right? That's a public establishment. And then you have other people present for when these physical altercations take place. Now that removes it from domestic DV. Almost got in trouble. Almost said it. That takes it away from DV and makes it what it is. You get me? And so that's and I actually saw that on a law show a couple of days ago. Because I get where people are saying it's just the DV, but yeah, so that made the difference. And then the fact of the matter is the abuse also happened due to someone not willing to go along with what he wants them to do. And remember, he told her to put ice on it and then put her lingerie and stuff on. So even after smacking her down in the shower, he still expected her to get up and go do what he wanted her to do as far as participating in the FO. All right, there's no updates. We're going to go back to some more audio.
Blues that transferred to jazz, that then transferred to rock and roll, and eventually into hip-hop. Afrika Bambaataa is considered to be one of the founding fathers of hip-hop. I personally grew up walking distance from the building where hip-hop was created. I have actually been in the building, and it's now named the birthplace of hip-hop. Afrika Bambaataa is considered one of the 3 founding fathers of hip-hop. Bambaataa was an occultist, and he made the occult a part of the foundation of hip-hop. He was deep into the occult and ancient Egyptian rituals. He was a servant of the god Ra and Horus. All the way back then, at the start of hip-hop, you can see him planting these occult themes in the foundation of hip-hop. He wore devil horns and occult practice outfits, he displayed the Eye of Horus, and dressed up awfully similar to the occultist Aleister Crowley. Bambaataa was an occultist, and he put the occult in the core of hip-hop. This is why hip-hop seems to merge with the occult. It's because it's been like that since the very beginning. Now what's interesting is that if you look into Bambaataa, you would notice he has similar accusations made against him that Diddy is facing. Bambaataa was exposed by many people, one being Hassan Campbell. They all came out and exposed Bambaataa for being a PDF file. This is a part of the system of hip-hop, rock and roll, and almost all of music. They use these rituals to communicate with higher spirits who guide them in making music. I know it sounds crazy, but after reading all I have read about the occult, this is what they believe. For example, there's a story I read about Michael Jackson waking up his producer at 3 a.m. in the morning to write a song he received while he was in a dream. When his producer asked Michael why he couldn't record the song in the morning, Michael said because if he didn't record it right now, Prince would record it before him. What Michael was talking about were these rituals that these artists do to tap into a higher spiritual realm, where they're able to be fed ideas by these deities they enslave themselves to. Michael knew that if Prince was also tapping into that higher realm, he would have gotten the same song. This is why the music industry is controlled by the Freemasons, because they know the power of music. Diddy is in fact a Freemason. He is a part of the Black Boli fraternity. The Boli secret society ties back to a black fraternity called Sigma Psi Phi. In 1904, a group of prominent African American men founded Sigma Psi Phi. These men, mainly medical professionals, sought out to establish a fraternity for distinguished black professionals. Freemasonry influenced Boli since the beginning. The Boli secret society was just an offshoot of Prince Hall Masonry, and they actually participated in the same rituals. So essentially, Boli is just another branch of Freemasonry. And what's interesting about this is that many black celebrities have been connected to the Boli secret society,
Crazy,
like
man.
Diddy and even LeBron James. Not only does Diddy routinely do Masonic hand gestures, but he also has been seen wearing the Mason Shriner hat. This is the Masonic Shriner hat, and if you look at Diddy, this hat looks exactly the same. The only thing is missing is the logo. Also, his son was caught wearing clothes that featured the Masonic all-seeing eye on it. Again, showing their Masonic connections
Puff
and even
Jackie
proving
Jr.
that his own son is involved as well. Like,
I wonder how many of these people join blindly and then they're in too deep to even understand what's going on until it's revealed to them what, you know, until they start to notice things, and then it's too late. You know, because like, I'm just saying, a brand new artist today, there's so much information out there talking about this stuff. And my question is, do you want to sign a record deal knowing that this stuff exists? And if you do,
Yeah, that's my question.
yeah, that's the part
After
of the
knowing
fame
all of this,
that,
who
you know,
wants to do that?
people know the fame. I'm saying that's what fame does to you. A lot of people know how much fame and fortune they're going to get as long as they do what they're asked to do, you know, and stay in line. They can make it to the top quick. That's why you see all of these artists coming out of nowhere.
Ready to lose the hat and
Boy, and then commercials again. Okay, hold on. Let me catch some of y'all comments. Hold on 1 second. Let me make sure I pause the audio so we don't miss. Let's go back to court real quick and see if we've missed anything here. All right. Charlie Sprinkle says it doesn't matter. The people aren't going to do anything about it. There's program. Are you talking about with the Masonic thing he's talking about? Dimple Cheek says, I'm trying to remember the song part of the lyrics. Said it's deeper than the Masons. On whose song? Listen to these lyrics. Whose song was that, Dimple Cheek? You remember? What time is it? No, they're not at lunch. I don't know what's taking so long. Okay, okay. Charlie Sprinkles says Barack Obama. Yes, we can. Backward is thank you. Yes, we can. Backwards is thank you. Say, oh, for real? I'm gonna have to look that up. I didn't know that. I'm gonna have to look that up, brother. I didn't know that. You dropped a jewel on me on that one. Matter of fact, let's go while we waiting because they don't have any. They haven't updated anything. Hey, Charlie Sprinkles on point. He know what he talking about. That's what it says. It says the backwards. Oh, when you say it backwards. But shoot, he's probably part of the what you call it too though, and had millions of people chanting. I am not just my comment type of guy. I am not just my comment type of guy. Laugh aloud. What you mean by that? If let me see if the New York Times have anything. The New York Times don't have an update. Nope. We still don't have an update. Okay, so I'm gonna finish this last little bit of the audio and then I'll open up the panel. Let's see. Okay.
I exposed in my last video, Diddy has been connected to the Masons since the beginning, as one of his early parties was actually hosted inside of a Masonic hall. Since the beginning, he has been involved in Masonry. I believe Q. Diddy was indeed trying to sacrifice him, just like he sacrificed many others. People really need to start waking up to this. Life isn't only about the physical, it's about the spiritual. We are in a spiritual battle. The music industry is a weapon used by the enemy to control you, guide your soul away from God, and destroy your chance at eternal salvation. Diddy and all of these artists are puppets, slave to these demons they call gods. They have sold out, agreeing to enslave the masses to demons for fame and riches. You need to wake up. They are telling you the truth right in front of your face. The elite no longer care, as they know the masses are too far gone and won't see the truth even if it's staring them in the face. What Q went through is the unfortunate price of fame in an industry controlled by demons. We need to pray for Q and other victims of the industry. Sadly, most of these people have no idea what they were up to in the industry before they joined, and they ended up losing their soul to it. Well, I'm gonna end this one here. I want to thank you all for...
All right, so that part right there, that goes to when we were saying how it's art imitating real life. So the lyrics that they saying in a lot of these songs, they've already admitted to their crimes and what they've done. We just thought it was good music. I'm talking about back in the 90s, not now, because now some of us have caught on to it. So it's art imitating real life. So that goes into what he was just saying at the end of the video. My little brother says, I found a YouTube video that might be something about what Sprinkles is talking about, but I don't know. I seen a couple, but yeah, Yeah, it said he. I mean, what he said was right. Now, don't get me wrong though, Charlie Sprinkles. You know you my man's pots and pans, but we stand at a disagreement on the innocence of Puffy Jacket. You know, I respectfully disagree with you on that. I see uh what he's being accused of and how they come up with it. Now, I'm not saying that how you see it is wrong. How you see it, how you see it is how you see it, and that's your opinion. I respect that too. You know, but yeah, unfortunately, it's something that's got to play out in court. I mean, that's just what it's got to be, and it's going to whatever they render is what they're going to render, as far as verdict wise and conviction wise, or non-conviction, either way. I wonder where does the sidebars take place at? Because like when they have one or they go to one, like I don't get an update for like another 30 minutes. So I don't understand. Yeah, I mean, yeah, morally, absolutely, but no, I'm talking about. I see the actions. I see how they have the evidence to come up with what they're charging him on. I mean, morally, him and a host of others is guilty of more of it morally. I mean, common people are guilty of it morally. Um, it's just they're not of a financial caliber. I guess I could use that to be ostracized or have so much limelight put on them and their crimes. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree with you on that fully. All right, so listen, it's 10:40. All right, so anybody who wants to come up in the panel, put a one. All I ask, I'm gonna give you 2 minutes to talk. Uh, if there's another panel guest on there, if not, then uh, no. Uncle Gundy, are you still in here? Are you still in the chat? Hold on, Charlie, I got you. Uncle Gundy, if you still in the live, brother, put a one in the chat, so I'll bring you up. Peace and blessings, brother. How you doing, Charlie?
Charlie. Peace, Noble. Peace to you, man.
Thank you. What you got to say? Let me know.
Man,
I love this guy, by the way.
I haven't seen anything about law yet, man. It's all feelings. Oh, he is just so bad. He shouldn't have did that, but that's not law, though. Yeah, he's wrong. Yeah. She didn't want to go, but she didn't. She could have left. She didn't put up no fight. She just kind of like made excuses of why she didn't want to go. And he made her do it anyway. But she didn't have to do it, man. No one has to do anything. There's too many other options. There's other jobs. There's other people, man. Not just him. And there's no law. Right, man. That's what I'm saying. There's no excuse of why you can't leave as an adult.
Hold on.
Maybe.
Wait. Stop. Okay, I see what you're saying. If of same mind, yeah, you can say, look, I'll leave. I can. This is not a good place for me. This is not a good situation for me. I can leave. But the thing about it is, when it gets to a point where you have been mentally manipulated, right? That's what causes. Basically, what happens is you're stripping the person of their security. You're stripping the person of their strength. You're stripping the person of their dignity. You're stripping the person of their morals, and so they end up feeling like they're nothing, right? And now you also factor in the physical abuse in order to keep them in line. Like I'm not gonna call them that, but how can I say this to you, brother? You remember 400 years ago when they say when our people came over and how people of the YT community would beat them and can't use the
And
words.
look, man, that was hearsay because it happened the opposite. See, it happened
What
the
do you mean?
opposite, man. We never came on the ships. They came on the ships. They were the first slaves. We weren't. We were the slave owners. I got so much documents of that. It's crazy, man. It's real.
Okay,
But it
send
was
that to
them.
me. Send that. I do
Okay.
know we were here. I do know we were here already.
Yeah. But we
I
got
do know
them
that
coming
part.
on the ships. The first slaves to come to America were the British and the Irish. We were prisoners of war. Not slave. They didn't beat. All those were wars they were having to take the land, and they'll put a narrative to it like they beat us and have us on in cotton fields, and those were our cotton fields. Did you see that last mansion that got burnt down? They said it was a slave mansion.
Oh yeah. In,
Hey, man.
in Louisiana, right?
Yes, sir. That was our mansions.
Wow, you gotta send me that. You gotta send me that.
I'm gonna send you you can get you a book called 100 Amazing Facts About the Negro. It's only like $5, man, with complete proof. It will blow your mind.
Hey, brother. Okay. Send me that. Hold on, Charlie. We got a new panel guest. How's it going, bro?
Hey, I'm doing good, man. I got a day off work, and I'm sitting here chilling on my TikTok, and I seen y'all was live, so I wanted to join.
I'm glad you're here. What's your take on it?
I don't, man. If I'm being honest, I don't even know what we're talking about. I just joined, and I just requested.
Okay. So, but you're familiar with what's going on with Puffy Jacket, correct?
Who?
We call him Puffy Jacket because we can't say his name on here. But
the diddler.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so you've been following that, right?
Yeah.
What's your take on it,
man?
Have
he's
you
guilty.
seen? You think he's guilty? Okay. And what tell me what makes you think he's guilty?
Man, oh my gosh. Man. It's weird because, like, I feel like I've heard about it for a long time from just, like, being on the internet and seeing headlines and seeing so-and-so said this, so-and-so said that. I feel like they was calling it out in the 90s, though, back when even Biggie was alive. They was calling it out that Puff is weird. He got something going on. Who had the album cover, and it was Biggie and Puff, and I think Puff was in like a women's outfit or something, or a wig on. I don't know. Somebody did that.
I don't know, but I have seen the video of him in the
Somebody
wig.
did that. Like, they've been saying it. And then what do y'all think about the clip of LeBron? And he's like, hey, there ain't no party like a you know who party. I mean, what you think LeBron was up to?
Yeah.
What did he mean by there ain't no party like a party?
Yeah, that was a bad thing to say. That was I don't think it aged well. I think I think a lot of people attended these parties, especially, and they not
Yeah. True. Not just LeBron. I know a lot.
It's the party though. It's the party. Like, you throw a party, then there's a party when everybody leave party. So he's
that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, and there's a party like.
That's what I'm saying. He's safe.
Like in the clubs. Have y'all seen the video of it's Usher or somebody, and they're taking a video, and it's Odell Beckham Jr. behind
Yeah, I
him.
saw it.
And Justin Bieber get up from Odell's like crotch, and his lips all wet. Like, bro,
Yes, sir.
whoa.
That's what they do. Hey, man,
That's
it's
a
wicked.
hey yo deal right
It
there.
is.
Like, you know what that looks like?
This world
to
does
me?
not work.
Hold on. What was you saying, Charlie?
I said this world does not work the way we think it do. Nowhere near it. The things we say,
Man.
we have, or what things operate as. I'm talking about all the way down to when you get off of TikTok, your private life. It ain't what you think it is. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, it's not, bro.
Nah, man. So what can we do about it? They said that we are so far gone that they can show us, and we still won't do nothing. And they're showing us.
And that was not a lie.
Yeah.
Man,
Nobody gonna
that's
do
what
nothing about this, man.
I feel like that's what it's come to, is like this kind of shit. If it was happening, and like, man, I don't know.
Well,
I
hold on,
can't
hold on.
really say that. I can't really say that because I wasn't alive. Maybe this would have flew in any era. If this came out in the 80s.
It's always been like this.
Listen, I was just about to say that. Charlie. Right? It's been going on for a long time, bro. Did you say the only difference is we didn't have the modern technology back then to be able to see it in real time or to be able
There you
to.
go, man.
Well, this shit
They
was
should have
probably
never come over
worse.
the
It
internet.
was probably worse
Right, right.
at a certain point in time. It was probably worse than it is now, like with the things they're doing. Because you got to think about it, the information really couldn't spread that quick. You didn't have to worry about your shit getting out.
Oh,
You know?
hold on, don't cuss, don't use
Oh,
that
sorry.
language. Yeah, they watching me already.
Oh, sorry.
No doubt.
They watch me already. But
I'm
listen,
one of
welcome.
these people that could not have a TikTok live, bro. I get banned so fast.
It's rough. Hey, you two, hey, mute your mic real quick. We're gonna welcome in Melissa to the panel. How you doing, Melissa?
Hey, Smooth, how are you, man? Listen,
I'm doing good.
this is what I want to know. The young man said this has been going on for a long time. So I recently, when this case came out, I found out about the dude that I used to watch on a program called Head of the Class back in the 80s. And I did not know that this celebrity was in charge of Nickelodeon and that he was a creep and a weirdo. I had no clue. No clue. So we cover up for the white man. I'm not being racist. Please, nobody call me a racist. Please don't. But
No.
what happened to him? Why wasn't he drugged through a trial? Why wasn't he sitting in Manhattan Detention Center? Why weren't his victims?
Dan Schneider, that's what she's talking about. Yeah, I said the same thing. I'm like,
Why
bro,
did
Dan
that
Schneider is
not
on the set of
happen to
Disney.
him?
Y'all got to understand. That goes back to politics. Y'all got to understand that we're human beings and we don't have a color. Color is a construct given to you by your government, and it's status. White is always the higher status than black, just in status. So if you call
White
yourself
is
white,
bullshit.
no. It's a status.
Hey, Miss Lady,
It's not
I
a
couldn't
color.
pick that I was made this way. The Lord did it.
Well,
Right.
the
I'm
parents
not
did.
blaming him. I'm just saying that's it. It's
Yeah.
just
And you know what, Melissa? You can't be racist. You know why? Because you can't stop anybody's advancement. Racism is when you can stop someone from advancing forward. Usually a group of people, like the bank. They might not give me a loan, but they may give you one. That'll stop my advancement.
I ain't giving my
Or-
broke ass one either, baby.
Hey, look, I hear you, baby. Hey, look, I might try to go get an apartment and my girlfriend be white and it might not rent to me.
Hold
That's
on,
racism.
no. Listen, I gotta tell you, I love having you on, but listen, we have to stay within the confine when it comes to language.
I forget. I get
Yeah,
so
I've already got. Listen, I believe we do need to have a platform where we can have freedom of speech, but
right now
we
we
can
can't.
get account
We
banned.
gotta be careful.
They showing us
Yeah.
we can't
I
say what we
just
want to
wonder.
say.
I just wonder how come that didn't happen to that dude, and why was he any different? It should have been worse because his victims were minors. They
Yeah,
were
that's
just
what they're
kids.
not talking about. That's how I know he's going home because the whole deal was the babies, yo.
There was
That's the
videos that
whole
came
thing.
out. There
The
was
party-
videos that came out on the Disney, not the Disney, but the Nickelodeon set that he was working on, and a lot of like the male actors at the time would get uncomfortable by what he was doing and stuff. And I think they were filming a show. I forgot what it was. It was like a superhero based show, and not the main character, because the main character was a younger guy, but the older dad in the show, he was like, he seen some guy with his pants zipped down.
Yeah.
And then he like lost his shit and started screaming at everybody.
F1.
I just cussed again, bro. It's in my nature.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Listen,
Nah, man, you got to talk with a dictionary vocabulary.
you got it. Yeah.
We can't
All right,
get
hold on.
people. We can't get
I'm
folks in
smoking.
trouble.
I'm sorry.
Hey, hold on.
No.
Pause,
Hey, I
pause,
would
pause.
like to say
Pause,
I am
pause,
smoking a
pause.
joint right now.
Everybody,
so.
mute up real quick. We got to welcome a panel guest, Dimple Cheek. Mute up.
We're gonna
Okay.
get some scotch tape for his mouth.
Don't be
Anytime
mean
you
to me,
say-
lady.
I'm mean to everybody. I hold no bias to nobody.
You be sweet now.
I'm mean to everybody. So if
No
you got
discrimination,
thin skin,
right?
This is how you want to
if
be
you got thin skin, then this panel is not for you. But
Yeah, my skin the thickest.
Okay, I
But
need hold on, mute up, everybody. Dimple
honestly,
cheese got that.
honestly, this is how it goes. For so long, I said this yesterday, and I will keep saying it. And I don't care who agrees, who don't agree. Your opinion is just like mine. But we've seen everything played out right in front of our eyes. The problem is everybody has this, oh, that's my favorite artist, that's my favorite actor. They ain't gonna do that. They're not gonna do that. Yes they are. Yes they will. And yes they have. And the when we stop putting them on pedestals, they bleed just like we do. They live just like we do. They eat just like we do. The problem is, though, they have too much money and not enough sense. So right now, he's in the position he's in because of him and nobody else. So I don't care who don't believe the women, who thinks that they're gold diggers. At the end of the day, he is on trial because his ego
Hold on, Charlie.
is
Charlie Smith.
bigger. His ego is bigger than his payroll. Okay?
Right.
He felt he was untouchable. He felt I could do what I gotta do, and I'm not gonna get caught. I'm not gonna have any repercussions. I'm not gonna have any consequences. Guess what? Guess what? In your world, in your mind, maybe. In reality, there's consequences, and now you're facing them.
Okay, now Charlie, I'm gonna let you respond.
Yeah, I was just saying, the ladies want saints either. They had an agenda too. You know what I'm saying? They want just some innocent girl. No. They got greed with them too. That's what kept them there, the greed, the money. So they had greed in them. They want saints. So, they wouldn't been around each other anyway.
By you saying they're not saints, you're basically saying they deserve it.
Hold on, Dimple.
No,
I'm gonna come back. Hold on, Dimple Cheese. I'm gonna let you respond too. We're gonna go up.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's me then. Okay. I was just gonna go off what she just said. How like they put them on pedestals, right? And they say, "Oh, that's my favorite actor, artist." They wouldn't do that. But then you look at it, and you have cases where like family be doing shit to the young ones. They
look,
like you.
Hold on.
So you really
Pause.
Everyone in the chat, man.
Listen. Look, Just, I love having you up here, brother. But if you can't, you gotta keep it. You said the S word again. you said the S word again.
Dang, bro. I might just have to get off this thing because, I'm not even knowing. It's just coming off my tongue, bro.
Well, listen, brother. I appreciate you. I'm gonna drop you down, but I appreciate you. Okay, I do. And you welcome back.
I appreciate you, man.
Safe travel, my man.
Yep, y'all too.
Listen,
Melissa.
My opinions will never try to get your live in trouble. So.
Yeah. No. It's okay.
I've tried to use my words very cautiously. Yes. However, what I really need to say and want to say is not TikTok friendly.
I get it.
Somebody who gets flagged every single second of every day, I know what it's like to get flagged. So I will never, I'm trying to keep my real thoughts are. I'm trying to keep them as PG-13 as possible. And I don't mean curses, meaning just in the explanation
spectrum
itself.
Of thing, right?
Like I'm trying to keep it so that way it's not going to flag you. But at the end of the day, you're going to have, yes, some women may have because that's the love bombing. That's what comes in. He got young girls. He got girls that never saw a dollar. Yeah. Okay, never saw a dollar. So he love bombed them. That's a natural reaction. But to say, well, they're not all that innocent now because they went for the money and this and that. You know what? He wasn't all that innocent either because he knew which girls to target with all of that. He didn't try that with an older woman. He didn't try that with an older woman.
Flock together. Birds of a feather flock together. Period.
Okay, now listen, I'm gonna have you two mute up.
I really hope and pray, Charlie. I really hope and pray that you don't have this mindset with your female relatives and female friends, because God forbid, and I pray the day you will never ever have to protect them or defend them.
I know they ain't in it.
But at the end of the day,
I know they ain't in it.
That mindset of yours is It's really
Nah, I'm the
reckless.
referee. Nah, I'm the referee. I don't choose either side. I just choose fairly
No,
for each side.
but
You know what I
what's
mean?
coming out your mouth though is one sided though.
Okay,
Nah,
listen,
it's
listen.
just
Hold on. Pause. Both of you, mute up. We gonna let Melissa respond because she didn't get a chance when we were going up. We had to let Just drop down, and Melissa didn't get a chance to state what she wanted to say. So Melissa, if you will, love, unmute, and then you can have your comment as well. Make your comment as well. You still there, Melissa?
Melissa 14 karat gone.
Yep. All right, we're gonna drop you down. Thank you for coming, Melissa. All right. Okay. So now, Charlie Sprinkle, it's
Yes,
on
sir.
you. Then we'll go back to them.
Yeah, I'm just saying, man. You know, the love of money for everybody, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has an agenda, and I think everybody can be bought. I think if we was in those situations, we'll probably do the same thing they did. Keep it from the public. You stay rich and wealthy, you know what I mean? And do these things nobody knows. See what I'm saying? We'll all do that, man. Because it's the pursuit of love of money here. You know what I'm saying? Of possessions and things like that. The riches is what we want. The bag, right? Ain't we chasing the bag? So everybody's chasing that money, man. I guess a better life, but you never get it because it ain't no money. And that ain't how you get it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Now Melissa's back. I'm sorry, she was muted, so she was talking and we didn't hear.
I was
Okay.
I was trying to tell you she was there, but she just was muted.
Oh, okay. My bad. It's my bad. It's my bad. All on me.
She
Okay,
got
Melissa,
dumped.
go
She
ahead.
got dumped on her butt for no reason.
I love you, Melissa. Matter of fact, here you go. Look, Melissa. I love you, girl. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead with your comment.
Charlie. Listen to me, friend. Even if these women went for one reason, they ended up staying against their own. It's like when you're a rug addict and you use against your will. They may have started out for one reason, but he groomed them. He chose them for a reason. And I bet you would not have ever said those words out of your mouth, Charlie, had somebody in your family or somebody, a female that you knew or loved, you would not have said that. And I hope that you never have to worry about a female friend, a daughter, a sister, a mother, an aunt, anybody, because it's not just women that go for money. There's plenty of men out there that go. What about the men? Okay, so if women go for money, men go for the women.
Okay. So here's what we're gonna do now. We're gonna go cycle through one more time, and then I'm gonna drop you all down and have to close out the show so I can get my little girl off the school bus. So Charlie, brother, I'm gonna let you go one more time. You can respond to that, and then we'll go to Dimple Cheeks. And I'm gonna look each person. I'm gonna give you a minute. We at 102. So from 103 to 104 is gonna be you, Charlie. Then from 104 to
Okay.
105 be Dimple Cheeks. We'll go on and so forth. Let's go.
Yeah, I ain't gonna take long. But looking at the case, looking at the evidence and what they have him charged with, it's a whole bunch of feelings, and feelings has nothing to do with court or law. Yes, he's probably guilty of doing that because that's what we do. We try to find victims who we can mistreat, if that's what we're gonna do with them. But you have to prove that. So I'm saying, I'm just saying court. I'm saying the man going home because they're only proving domestic violence and that he's a bad guy, and that's not against the law. But he is guilty of mistreating people, doing people in that way. But I'm just weighing it out as the referee. If we're going to court and we're dealing with this, then we have to do it by court and law procedures, not by hearsay and feelings. And I land.
Okay. All right. I appreciate you, bro. I'm gonna drop you down. Thank you for joining the panel, and I appreciate your input.
Peace, God.
Peace. Dimple Cheeks.
Last time I checked, DV is against the law. So, with that said, this is what I'm talking about, misinformation. This, Charlie seems to be educated and well versed, but he's stuck on that DV, and that's because chances are he didn't have nobody that he knows personally involved. DV in this guy's case versus DV in our cases is different because we have regular people that are DVing us. This is a celebrity who has money, who has power, who has name, who has other celebrities that he will never do that. He's got people backing him up. The DV that they're proving is not to prove that he's a beater. We all know that. It's to show that he has people who are backing him up, who've seen it and turned a blind eye. Not because they didn't feel bad. Some of them I'm sure didn't. But also, he was holding their jobs over their heads. So that's where the extortion and the blackmail comes in. Right now, everybody's just focusing on DV. They're not looking at the bigger picture. They are lining it up, okay? So that way the Ricardo case will stand on its two legs versus weak knees. The problem is everybody wants instant gratification. Nobody wants to wait. You have to play it out. You have to have your ducks in a row, cross those T's and dot those I's, because one small crack in that foundation, that case is done, and he will walk. So unless, again, you are a survivor of DV, please don't make lame comments because you don't know what you're talking about. How many women have gotten order protection from courts and still ended up unalived by their abusers?
That's true.
So don't say DV is not a crime. It is a crime, and it's not a good one either. So yes, when it comes to DV, because I'm a survivor of it, I don't want to hear what anybody gonna say, because unless you're in it, you don't know what you're talking about. These girls, they thought, ooh, I'm hooking up with a mogul. Ooh, I'm hooking up with the big dog in Hollywood, right? Now they hook up with him, right away they want to be his girlfriend. He's not the marrying kind. He's not the settle down kind. So what do? Oh, he wants me to do this. Oh, if I do that, he'll like me more. Oh, if I do this, he'll like me more. But guess what? It gets tired, it gets old, and they didn't want to do it no more. So what did he do? He resorted to violence. He resorted to blackmail. He resorted to extortion. People need to wake up. Wake up. It's bigger than DV. The DV is what started it.
I appreciate that, Dimple Cheeks.
How many of these girls had UTIs and he still made them? You know how painful it is just to go to the bathroom with a UTI, and he's got them doing activities with it. Come on, cut it out. Not everybody's a gold digger, and you know what? Not every girl sought out all because they wanted a bag, a house, and a car.
My sister.
All right. Okay. I appreciate Dimple Cheeks. I'm going to drop it down.
Thank you.
Charlie
You can drop
Sprinkles
me.
and Dimple Cheeks in the live. I appreciate that. Thank you, love. And I'll speak with you later.
Yes.
Okay. Melissa.
Listen, everything she said, I'm going to leave it on that note because, listen, I mean, what else can you say? But everything she just said is dead on the money. Dead on the money. Unless you're a victim of it, you shouldn't make a snap judgment like that, or even a bevel judgment like that. Like I said, I bet Charlie wouldn't be saying that if one of his daughters was caught up in something like this. So, they may have started it for one reason, but they ended up staying because of another. And I think they are looking for a mistrial. I think they're doing anything and everything they can for a mistrial. And what Dimple Cheeks says, I stand by her 100%.
Okay. Okay, I appreciate that then, and I appreciate you coming up on the panel. Everybody,
Listen, I'm so
Melissa
glad
in
I
the live.
found you. I'm so glad I found you. I'm so glad I woke up at 7:30 this morning. My daddy usually doesn't wake me up until 8, but I got up early this morning and I found you, and I'm so glad.
I'm glad you're here. I'm glad, and look, hopefully we'll see you back tomorrow and
Because
future
you know
shows.
you report the good stuff. You report the stuff that's good. You report the stuff that's true. Not that other people don't. I just like the way you deliver it. So thanks for having me
appreciate
up.
that. Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much.
always welcoming me in, sweetie. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, love, and you make sure you enjoy your day. And like I said, I hope we see you tomorrow.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, I'm gonna drop you down.
Bye bye now.
Bye bye. Everybody, W Melissa in the chat, please. W Melissa in the chat. Well, people, we have come to the end of the show. Once again, I want to thank all of you for joining. I believe as we move forward, there's going to be things that we're going to see that's going to be even crazier. But we have to see it to the end. We'll have to see it to the end. We're going to have a difference of opinions no matter how it goes. But once again, we're always going to report on what's being put in court. And we're going to bring you the word and truth and give you our context on that. First and foremost, let me give it up for my moderators. For my gifters. For my panel guests. And all of you for joining us here on hashtag I'm Gonna Say It. Thank you, and I pray that you all come back. Every single word, the uncomfortable truth, finally gonna be heard. I'm gonna say it. From the halls of power to the gossip in the street, the addictions that bind us, the bitter defeat, the cracks in the foundation, the violence unseen, behind the closed doors, the suffering king. Every single day, the same damn old fight, ignoring the darkness, pretending it's light. And this precious building is starting to crack. Ain't no turning back now, ain't no holding back. I'm about to say it, yeah, I'm about to scream. Tired of the fake smiles, living in a dream. The real life's bleeding out in the cold. Gotta break the mold, gotta let it unfold. I'm about to say it, every single word. Okay, I have my brother send it to you. Uncomfortable truth, finally gonna be heard. I'm gonna say it. Can you feel it now? The tension in the air, the weight of the world, a burden to bear. But we can't stay silent, we can't look away. Gotta find a new voice, gotta find a new day. I'm about to say it, yeah, I'm about to scream. This has been your self-proclaimed favorite news reporter, Mr. Breaking News, reporting live from the newsroom. You all have a great day. Peace and blessings as you go on your way. Be safe, be prosperous, and I love you all. Okay, I'll ask him, can he resend it to you in another way, Double Cheeks?